from where we left off, backing up a little bit, actually. A few miles away from the house, Ollie Jungfrau was locking up Tipsy Cricket liquors. He had called the Iowa State Patrol, reporting that some kind of wild animal had attacked Wayne DeLong in the parking lot after Wayne left Tipsy Cricket liquors. Wayne was carrying a paper sack with a bottle of El Capitan vodka and a 12-pack of Duraflex extra-sensitive condoms. The wild animal that attacked Wayne DeLong was Hungry Jack. Wayne's friends called him Wayno. Wayno was a pilot. He didn't drink too much on flights before he flew, he said. On nights before he flew, he said. He was supposed to fly a commuter plane from Cedar Rapids to Omaha in 6 hours. Wayno wasn't going to make that flight. Ollie Jungfrau told the Iowa State police officers that the animal he'd seen attacking Wayne DeLong looked like a 6-foot-tall grasshopper. The troopers requested that Ollie Jungfrau breathe into a machine. Wayne DeLong was eaten right in front of the Ealing Coin Wash laundrette. The only thing left of Wayno was his belt buckle, eyeglasses, and the Tipsy Cricket paper sack containing the 12-pack of condoms Wayno would never get to use, and the bottle of El Capitan vodka that Wayno would also never drink. "Okay, Ingrid," I said. "Come on." I stood up from my seat at the desk. Ingrid raced ahead of me and ran downstairs to the front door, wagging her tail and panting. Wait, girl," I said. I turned back. I'd forgotten the cigarettes Johnny McKeon brought for me in my bedroom. It was a nice night. I sat on the front porch in nothing but my boxers and Robbie Bree's Spam t-shirt. I put my bare feet up on the railing while Ingrid sniffed around the yard. I lit a cigarette and considered staying home from school for a second consecutive day. I thought Robbie was right. I'd surprise my dad by cleaning up all the dog shit and mowing the lawn before my parents came back home from Germany. There goes my Nobel Prize and my trip to Sweden with Robbie Breeze, I said. I was talking to St. Casimirs. They smoked. St. Casimirs chose to maintain his virginity until his death. Could not comfortably wrap my head around that thought. St. Casimirs must have been a real dynamo at saying no to his penis. After he died a virgin boy in his 20s, St. Casimirs' body is wrapped in silk. St. Casimirs' corpse reportedly cured all kinds of people who were afflicted with untreatable illnesses. He even brought a dead girl back to life. This is all true. The maintenance of his virginity was more remarkable than any of that shit, as far as I was concerned. I couldn't see how a Polish boy could do that. I wondered if, in the 1400s in Poland, being a virgin boy meant you were still technically permitted to experiment, or at least allowed to produce a little polymer from time to time. Otherwise, it had to be some kind of hoax, or perhaps a genuine miracle. Saints, like Casimirs, I decided, truly were superhuman. When his original tomb crumbled, the clergy decided to transport the boy's body to a new crypt. When the priests opened his tomb, St. Casimirs' body was miraculously preserved and smelled like flowers. Maybe shit like that will happen to any Polish boy who can actually fight off the urge to lose his virginity. It was hopeless for me. I was destined to be a stinky Polish corpse that would never cure diseases or shit like that. A gray fog of headlights came sweeping like a sandstorm down the middle of our street. Nobody ever drove out this way in the middle of the night. Then Robbie Breeze's old Ford Explorer pulled up and parked along the curb in front of my house. I was scared, but also very happy to see Robbie. I have been a ridiculous asshole to Robbie Breeze over the past 2 days. And now here I was, caught red-handed smoking on my porch alone in my underwear and Robbie's Spam shirt and he'd been wearing when he got called queers and beaten up by the Hoover boys. Seeing Robbie Breeze get out of the car made me feel guilty and nervous. It was the same way I'd felt the day Pastor Roland Duff called me into the headmaster's office at Curtis Crane Lutheran Academy to counsel me on the history and consequences of masturbation. Robbie did not expect to see me sitting there on my front porch, smoking in my boxers. In fact, he did not see me at all, which is why he let out a startled squeal when I said, "Hi, Robbie. It's really good to see you." However, Nobody ever expects to be cheerfully greeted at midnight by a kid smoking in his underwear on a deserted street in Ealing, Iowa. I might as well have been a 6-foot-tall praying mantis or shit like that. Robbie regained his composure. He said, "Hey, Porcupine." "Want a cigarette?" I asked. Robbie said, He looked around, like he was trying to see if there was some kind of joke being played on him. Ingrid came up and sniffed his hand and transformed herself into a doggy rug beneath my chair. I took my bare feet down from the porch rail and curled my toes in her fur. She sighed contentedly. I said, "You're a good dog, Ingrid." The sirens in the distance went silent. Robbie said, "I didn't mean to bother you, Austin. I just came to drop off some things on your porch. I didn't think you'd be out here." He went back to get what he'd brought from his car. "Watch out for dog shit," I warned. "I am watching out," he confirmed. Must have been the end of the world or some shit like that. Robbie Briggs, who never did his laundry, had been washing laundry all day, which is why he did not go to school. It was part of the reason why he did not go to school. Most of the reason was that his Polish kid best friend had been acting like a complete asshole. He carried a neatly folded stack of half of my entire non-Lutheran boy wardrobe in his arms. On top of it were 2 pairs of sneakers, my toothbrush, and a cell phone. "Sorry it took so long to get all this stuff back," Robbie said. "Your sleeping bag's in the Explorer, too." I took the bundle from Robbie. Our hands touched. Everything smelled really good. "The stuff smells good," I said. Robbie said, "Thanks, I tried." Robbie shrugged. "You actually did all your laundry today?" I asked. "Yeah. It's not too bad. I couldn't find one of your socks, though." "Socks and underwear have a way of disappearing with me." "Maybe it's under your bed," I said. I immediately felt the flush of embarrassment. I silently prayed to St. Casimirs to make me not say anything else that was as stupid as the shit I just said to Robbie. "Your dad's been calling," Robbie said. I talked to him. He said everything was going to be okay. "I hope that you don't mind I answered your phone." Robbie said, "Austin, I'm really sorry about Eric." Robbie was such a good person. "You're such a good friend, Rob," I said. I gave Robbie a cigarette. Then we went to his car to get my sleeping bag. I could hardly believe my eyes. Robbie Breeze's back seat was completely cleaned out. All the dirty clothes were gone. It's like there was a new Robbie. "The new Robbie," I said. "Yeah," he agreed. I feel guilty about wearing your Spam shirt. I think I might have BO and I've been lying in bed all day." "Austin, you do have BO," Robbie confirmed. "I can smell it from here. You smell like leftover pizza in a locker room." Robbie, who swore that Doritos smelled like a 6-year-old boy's feet, had an acute sense for smells. I will do laundry tomorrow, too," I said. "We'll be like laundry buddies or shit like that. And we can chat about how we managed to get our things to smell so fresh." I sat on the porch, next to the stack of all my clean-smelling laundry that was missing at least one sock, and Ingrid, my golden retriever, who was missing her vocal cords, and smoked together. I tried making small talk. I said, "I ate a stand cream tonight with Shan." "Oh," Robbie said. "It always tastes better when you're there. I think Satan dislikes you," I said. "He hates everyone who asks for ice water. What do you expect? He's Satan," Robbie theorized. "Oh yeah," I said. Robbie was very smart about theology, too. But I wanted to say something to Porcupine. But Robbie began. "Don't say anything, Rob. I don't want you to." I waved my hand in the air between us like I was erasing words from an invisible blackboard. "Okay," Robbie said. The diving bell. The 3 of us marched through waist-high weeds and brambles across fields that at one time were forests of corn out to Shan's launch pad. Shan Collins found the invisible McKeon silo. The silo was just as Shan described it to me, a circular pad of concrete 30 feet in diameter around the circumference, corroded anchor bolts that used to support the structure's cylindrical outer wall poked up like Mummy's rusted fingers. In the exact center was a steel hatch tightened shut by a spoked metal wheel that looked entirely like something you'd find on top of an old diving bell. I was nervous. We should have brought flashlights, I said. And then I added, let's go back and get some flashlights. Robbie, who was never scared of anything unless we were breaking into Johnny McKean's Museum of Horrors in the middle of the night, said, let's have a cigarette and then open this shit up, Porcupine. You boys smoke too much, Shan said. So Robbie and I lit cigarettes, and before he'd taken the second drag on his, Robbie squatted down above the hatch wheel and began forcing it counterclockwise. As soon as the wheel rotated a quarter turn, we heard a low buzzing sound coming up from beneath the hatch. I said, Robbie, that thing's full of bugs or shit. It's not full of bugs, Robbie argued. It's full of bugs, and if it's full of bugs, I'm going to be mad, Shan offered. If it's the kind of bugs I'm thinking about, you won't be mad too long, I said. He's thinking of butterflies that shit raspberry cupcakes on your head, Robbie said. I'm really hungry for cupcakes. No, I said, no, I'm not thinking of butterflies that shit raspberry cupcakes, Rob. Robbie knew what kind of bugs I was thinking about, but Robbie was not afraid. Finally, the wheel would turn no more. The hatch came loose, and Robbie stood up and lifted it open. The hole was 3 feet across. As soon as the hatch raised up, the inside of the lower chamber illuminated in a flickering greenish fluorescent light. The buzzing noise was louder now. It was fairly obvious that it was being produced by some kind of power generator, as opposed to a 6-foot-tall man-eating praying mantises. I took a drag, exhaled, and said, Roof access, Rob. Okay. 12 minutes.